Hello and welcome to another video, well, not another video of Forgotten Hope 2 actually, but a video of Combat Mission Final Blitzkrieg, which is one of those games that I play when I don't play Forgotten Hope 2. Now, before you all switch off because it looks, well, somewhat outdated, let me just tell you this is, in my opinion, one of the only games that comes close and in some places even exceeds Forgotten Hope in terms of historical accuracy and attention to detail. It's a military simulation, so not as much a game as it is simulation. This is the latest installment, which plays in the times of the Hütgen Forest as well as the Ardennes Offensive. This, however, plays in France actually in December 1944. In a little village called Zingling, which we as the Americans have to take, and I have to command my troops. I will show you those later in order to take it. Now, this is kind of special for me because I actually did make this map as a Forgotten Hope 2 map as well, and I will show you that at a later date. This is a one-to-one copy. A very nice recreation of the terrain, because the battle that happened here is actually very well documented. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Hyperwar website that has digitized many of the US Army historical resources about World War II. And one of them describes this battle in detail down to what single tanks and infantry squads were doing. So of course I thought that would be a good idea to make a Forgotten Hope 2 map out of it. That was before 2.46 and before I started working on Omaha Beach. So it's unlikely that this map will ever see the light of day. However, I'm still very interested in the battle. So when it turned out that there was a recreation of it in this game, I thought, well, let's see if we can't do it. One thing I need to tell you is this game is very, very hard, and I'm not necessarily very good at it. And the scenario itself, if it is historically accurate, will also be very hard for the Americans. In real life, they managed to get a draw. I don't think I will do much better than that. So anyway, now, first of all, about the game, this is, as I said, a military simulation. It's a tactical scale simulation. So you command troops on the ground, not divisions, but really the single soldiers, as you can see here. And it has some special features. I mean, roughly you could say it's a bit like a hardcore version of Company of Heroes in terms of what it looks like. But one thing that's very different is that this is not a real-time strategy game, but it's also not really a turn-based game. The way it works is you give orders. That part, by the way, I will cut out because the UI is atrocious in my opinion. I really will spare you that. You give orders to your troops, and then you press this red button down here, and they do what you told them. And then for 1 minute all you can do is watch them do your orders, and the AI is sometimes good, sometimes terrible, but in many ways this is realistic because it really simulates the behavior of every single soldier, including getting into a panic, including running away, including getting confused, and because of that the results might often somewhat surprise you. Yeah, so generally in this series what I want to do is I don't want to show the orders phase because it's pretty boring. Instead, I will always do a cut and then show the results, and I will show them in a kind of cinematic way, because you can rewind them, you can look at them from all directions, because this 3D engine allows you to really get down on the ground. And yeah, I hope people will like it. If not, I will stop. But yeah, so I already gave my orders, and for that you need to know two things. First of all, the objective is the town of Zingling. Now, for some bigger context, up here somewhere is the town of Binning, which is the main objective of our unit, which is, I think, the 3rd Armored Division, I want to say, US. I'm on the side of the Americans, by the way. And anyway, but we received flanking fire from here, so now I'm here to clear out this area. The Germans are hiding between the houses, and there are reports of at least some assault guns and maybe Panther tanks in here. Now, as I said, I'm actually familiar with the battle that occurred here, so I do know also that the village is part of the Maginot Line, the old 1940s French Maginot Line. And I know for a fact that there's a bunker here, here maybe in this area, and there's also a machine gun bunker here, looking down the road. Yeah, that's the advantage of actually having made this map at one point. Okay. My force is basically a company of tanks supported by a company of armored infantry. Oh, by the way, this is very, very ugly, but they do not do like out-of-bounds terrain like we do it in Forgotten Hope 2. It just ends, and they have this ugly texture here. Yeah, it's on a technical level, it's not very impressive, except actually that it simulates so much, which is really what you pay your money for in this case. So as I said, I have a company of tanks here, various models of Sherman tanks, and a company of armored infantry who historically accurate a ride on the tanks because the terrain was too muddy for half-tracks. I will lead with this jumbo tank, which will hopefully deflect any shot that is fired at it. And this first platoon here will advance up the main road and then hold here where the infantry will dismount and then probe into the town along this axis here to see if we can flush out German troops. At the same time, these tanks here, which do not have infantrymen on them, will advance up here, up to this little, it's hard to see, but up to this little dip in the terrain here, to see if they can't see anything here, and then also to protect our flank. And the rest of the guys, meaning the 2 company HQs and this tank platoon with infantrymen, will stay in reserve for now. So anyway, without much further ado, oh, and I should also say this village itself is registered for artillery, so I can call in howitzers on it relatively quickly if I need to, but I don't want to do a preparatory bombardment. Anyway, so without much further ado, let's start and see if my guys screw it up. Computing real-time action. I wonder if the motor sounds aren't too loud and drown out my voice. That would be annoying. Tingling. So in the beginning, I don't expect that there will be much resistance. Okay, so that's the first turn done. So far not much happened. See you on the next one. Okay, so still approaching the village. By the way, my voice should be a bit louder now, although I think it was audible before as well. So I decided to lead with a jumbo tank, as it was intended, because it has this great frontal armor. And as soon as we actually get into the village, it will probably take some punishment. Okay, it now stops. The infantry should dismount, yes. And here we have a 76mm Sherman that I put into the second position in order to have some anti-tank capability. Background, you can see the others advance. Well, not so much advance, they stopped advancing. Okay. One thing that's kind of annoying, this Sherman tank actually got stuck in the mud because the ground conditions are muddy. I mentioned before that half-tracks couldn't even drive here. So yeah, that's annoying, but luckily it's a 75mm one, so it's not that catastrophic. But you should generally stay on the roads in these conditions. This one bogged down as well. Should have. Maybe he will get out, I don't know. Immobilized, and a 76 one as well. That's annoying. Yeah, maybe I should have told them to go slower. Anyway, the others have reached this hedge line here. And the infantry here is advancing into the gardens in order to start flushing out the Germans. So far I have no enemy contact. This is my company HQ actually, should dismount that. So, the jumbo tank is advancing into the town now, while more infantry goes into these houses and these hedges. This will hopefully allow me to at least somewhat look down this road, because I want to know if there's anything dangerous here for my tanks. So far no enemy fire, so that's good. Generally speaking, you need to be careful when going around corners with tanks. So my next move will be moving infantry here on this angle and here. And then from there I can probably move this unit into that house, so it's kind of an overwatch situation. And we're off. These guys stay in Overwatch. I also ordered, where are these guys? I also ordered into their 50 cal team, which will put up their weapon there. Okay, around this corner nothing seems to lurk, so I will pull up the jumbo tank. Generally speaking, the first minutes of these games are usually about establishing where the enemy is and what the situation is. These guys don't seem to see anything either. Well, here goes nothing. Yeah, please keep moving. Yeah, this road is probably clear as well. I was a bit worried about this building, to be honest, but our medium machine gun should be able to get a bead on it here. I've placed a medium machine gun here so I could suppress this building if the Germans shoot from there. But yeah, okay, so that worked out nicely. So next objective is this one. Yeah, that's probably the best course of action, and here we go, over to the next building, and let's hope that that it's not under observation by the Germans, because the Germans could be behind here, theoretically, and then it would be relatively hard to get a tank to shoot at them. Although maybe the jumbo could shoot over this wall if I drive it up to it. Well, we have to try it out. Okay, we have located one of the objectives, Zingling South. Okay, Everybody stack up and in there. It does have windows on this side, which is somewhat worrying. So, any Germans? Okay, seems clear. Nice. Okay, this time I'm starting the video in pause, just to tell you my general plans. For one thing, I put the 50 cal machine gun up in here, so it will, I mean, I told it to go here, so we'll run around here, get into here. So I have some overwatch on this, should I need it. I will continue advancing along this road, and I also told the tanks that I kept in reserve to drive up with the second platoon of infantry, and they will go around here through these gardens and kind of do a hook through here, but that's in the long-term future. So let's see how it's going. A 50 cal. Yeah, look through that window to see if there's Germans in there. Yeah, follow him. Yeah, the voice acting is almost as bad as in FH2. Here comes second platoon. These guys are also in overwatch positions now. Okay. Okay. Again, starting with a pause turn. So, what I'm doing now, I'm really worried about this curve here. I'm pretty sure that if I come around this corner, something will be there. Like, because look at this. The Germans could have, for example, an anti-tank gun behind this wall. Looking down this road, I would come around the corner, get blasted. So what I'm going to do now is I will try to get guys into this building, because I'm fairly certain I would be able to get a look around the corner that way relatively safely. Or at least I would only use a bunch of infantrymen. So in order to do that, I did the following maneuver. I told them to stack up here, and a team of engineers, these guys, oh no, that's these guys, a breach team, who have these satchel charges, will blow a hole into this wall, and through this hole we can then relatively easily get through here and into this building from behind, because it has a door here. That should be relatively safe, unless they're in these gardens in force, in which case I could probably shift the tanks over here and destroy them. Well, hopefully. But yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh, and we of course storm this building here as well. Ah, shit. Okay, I paused it. So several things happened. For one thing, we took fire from there, and they actually identified the shooter, a German guy. And we got this icon here. This basically means that somebody heard a tank engine here. So there definitely is a tank around this corner, which I kind of saw that coming, to be honest. So let's look at the German guy that shot at us. It's this dude with the MG42. So now I need to find a way to get my tanks to shoot over there. Well, let's see how this goes on. Okay, there's a lot of fire coming and my guys are shooting back as well. I'm paused again. Okay, this guy has an SDG-44 as well, so that's annoying. Yeah, generally speaking, my guys aren't that well equipped for close combat. And we already took, before the scenario, we already took casualties, so I have very few guys in my squad, and most of them only have Garants, although this guy has a BAR, so that's good. And they're shooting back. Oh, that was nice. Where was that coming from? Okay, somebody got hit though. Pause again. Okay, my guys didn't get hit, so there's that. I wonder who shot that. Was that a rifle grenade? Do these guys have a rifle grenade? Oh yeah, the squad leader has a rifle grenade. And... yeah, that did it. Nice work there. That could have gone worse. And I think the Germans... so now we see there's this icon here. That means that my guys suspect that the Germans are running out the back. They're probably panicked by the rifle grenade. And it sounded like they got a casualty as well. Anyway, over here, yeah, my guys are preparing to blast a hole through here so we can flank. And then I need to take out the tank. But I want to know... well, let's keep rolling. I want to know what kind of tank it is and if my Jumbo can withstand it. I mean, if it's a King Tiger, which I think is unlikely, but for example, then I'm fucked anyway. But if it's like a Panzer IV or a Stuck, yeah, keep shooting. Nice work. If it's like a Panzer IV or a Stuck, I'd venture to say the Jumbo could probably take a shot from it. Anyway, we will see. Okay, I told the tank to go up to this wall because I hope it can shoot over it. These guys should blow up this wall any second now. Yep. And the breach team will run through. Okay, over here I think the Germans really vacated this house and there's no incoming fire anymore. Yeah, and they also are, their morale is okay again. So these guys went through, are not under fire, they will follow soon. I told them to wait first in case these guys get mowed down. And then we will get into this building and maybe we can identify what kind of tank it is. And I think if we identified the tank after that, I might actually simply stop this video for now. And then you can tell me in the comments what to do. I think that would be interesting. Okay, these guys are running through here. And yeah. And here we go. So this squad, which also has a bazooka, which actually could be useful, although it's dangerous to shoot them from buildings, especially if they have small rooms like this one. So. They will go through here and hopefully look down this this road and identify the tank. Let's go! Actually, the angle is not as good as I had expected, but... so, anything down there? Maybe I need to go in here. Yeah, you're kind of looking the wrong direction, mate. I mean, the sound contact is still there. But it's kind of a stupid angle, like... imagine you're a tank here. It's not actually looking down the road exactly, is it? Or... it might be. Well, we will see. I decided to kind of YOLO it. Let's see. We will just go around and hope nothing happens. Tank will... I told the tank to turn its turret towards the threat. Doesn't see anything.
Quiet down, let's get some noise discipline here.
Well, in a tank you don't need noise discipline, man. Okay. Appears the enemy tank is still there, but it doesn't shoot either. Anyway, the second platoon actually should have... yeah, they arrived at this hatch here. So we'll go around here, through these gardens, and maybe outflank the tank like that. Let's hope this works. Okay, let's see what happens now. Well, okay, that's what happens now. Enemy armor. Oh, that's actually a Jagdpanzer 4, the rare Alkit version, which we don't actually have in Forgotten Hope 2. And I spotted it first, and it's at a weird angle, so let's hope... well, I'm actually not in a bad position now. Let's hope it can get a good shot at it, and nothing else pops up. So let's look at this from the Germans' perspective. That's, by the way, my artillery spotting point. It's just a symbol to show that I ranged in the artillery already on this point, so ignore that. Well, that was disappointing. Although maybe it will cause the guy here to pop down. No, he apparently is confused. Okay, that was embarrassing, mate. Maybe that knocked the weapon out? Oh, that went through. Upper front hill penetration. I don't think the Germans thought I would be coming like that. Where did that go through? Often you can actually see the hole where it went through. Yeah, that actually glanced off, I think. But yeah, that should take it out. Probably they're going to bail out of it now. I wonder why they didn't turn it around. Okay, more things happening now. That's, I think, my infantry. I paused now. Oh yeah, there's my infantry. And they're firing at something. At what are they firing? Okay, there are German foxhole positions that I see. And there's a German rifleman. Oh, who belongs to a flak gun apparently, which the flak gun isn't spotted yet, but that's actually not good. Because if a flak gun shoots at my infantry... Okay, we would see. Yeah, go into the house, please.
Cover me! Move it!
Yeah, you can stop shooting at that. Anyway, I will leave it here. Yeah, as you can see, they popped open the edges and bailed out. So that one is knocked out. Scratch 1 tank destroyer. Ah yeah, and here's the flak gun. So, okay. That's the first episode of this. Next up, I'm trying to knock out that flak gun. I'm really lucky that that thing didn't shoot. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too boring. I know this is a bit different from the usual FH2 action, but I think it's nonetheless quite interesting. So, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.